But the annoying thing to me is just like Facebook shut you down. They never said like, oh, you just got to change it this way and this way. They just shut you down. They don't say, hey, tell us what actually happened.
No. They say you need to read the terms and conditions.
Yep. It's time for bookkeeping, beer, and BS. I voiced it before. We've had so much trouble with Indeed on the recruiting side of our business. Just not, I mean, and like, so I gotta, here's the really like short version of the story. They shut down our recruiting account, but won't tell us why. So we're finding other avenues to solve that problem. It's not the end of the world. They shut down, and then they started shutting down people that worked with us for no reason. And they won't tell them why, besides like, oh, yeah, Blue Skies did your recruiting. So they shut down a guy in Minneapolis here. He bought my house cleaning business here. And he still cleans my house after he bought the house cleaning business that I had here. And so I just saw him at CBF Live a couple weeks ago, and he called me yesterday. I was like, what's up, Mark? He's like, dude, like, what's going on with Indeed? And I was like, I don't know. Nobody knows, right? Like, who knows when YouTube shuts your account down and Google shuts your account down or Facebook shuts your account down? They won't tell you anything. And it's just a crazy ass algorithm.
So we need Elon Musk to buy Indeed, right?
Something like that. He's like, they just shut down my account and they wouldn't tell me and they wouldn't tell me and they wouldn't tell me. And then they said, well, it's because you use Blue Skies. And he's like, I haven't used Blue Skies in 2 years. They're like, sorry, we're shutting down your account. It's like, and we've had a few clients that are like, it's all your fault. And we're like, no, it's not. They won't tell us what happened. And clearly it's not us, because if it was, they'd be like, oh, you don't use them anymore. Okay, we get it. But like the fact that they're shutting down this dude's account, he hasn't used this in like 2 years. He's a buddy of mine, right? He's like,
that's terrible.
And so and this guy, he likes his cuss words. So he just starts F-bombing them, right? Like he can't hold back. He's like, what the F could these people have possibly done that you shut their account down, and anybody that's used them? Like, you guys are effing morons. And it's like, yeah, who knows? Who knows what their algorithms or what they're thinking? I don't know. I think they just hate small businesses. Who knows?
Anyway, like I think 7 years ago, I boosted a post on my Facebook, and Facebook didn't like it. I still cannot place an ad on Facebook. I can't do recruiting. I can't do anything on Facebook. That was like 7 years ago.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. The only thing that I can think of with Indeed that we were like, it probably is this. And like, again, it's not the end of the world. We can just like I just told him, like, just go create a new Indeed account, right? If your Facebook account gets shut down, just go create a new Facebook account. That's all you got to do. But the annoying thing to me is just like Facebook shut you down. They never said like, oh, you just got to change it this way and this way. They just shut you down. They don't say, hey, tell us what actually happened.
No. They say you need to read the terms and conditions.
Yep. Well, and so like in our Indeed account, we had we had it set up incorrectly. Like, I'll be the first to admit that, but we set it up how their previous account rep that was for us had
told you to set it up, huh?
He told us to set us up a certain way, and I'm sure it was because he was getting paid the more we boosted in our account, and so he like misled us for him to make more money, and then he left, and then we were set up the wrong way, and so then it looked funny for Indeed. But we had all of our cleaning companies within our recruiting account, and whenever we fire an employee, right, what's the first thing that a disgruntled employee does? They leave you a bad Google review and they go slam you on Indeed and like make shit up. Well, so we got slammed in Google and we got slammed on Indeed. Google at least like usually will take it down if you're like, hey, this is clearly an employee. We fired them because they were stealing from our clients, or they didn't show up to work for 3 straight days, or they showed up drunk. And their retort wasn't like, hey, yeah, you're right, I suck. It was, you guys are assholes. They don't lie about how much they pay people. So I'm sure there was like stuff like that negatively impacted our recruiting account. So it makes sense like for us to ditch that account. Like, I'm all for it. But do you think Indeed ever called us and said like, hey, it looks like somebody left you a negative review. Like, can you tell us what actually happened? No, nobody asked us what actually happened. Right. And like, it's so obvious that it's a bunch of false accusations, but that's like our YouTube account for our Kahuna window cleaning got shut down recently. Thank God they reopened it in like 2 days. I mean, there's nothing out there besides training videos and our like silly pros versus Joes videos. And all of a sudden they just shut the damn thing down and said, sorry, you violated a blah, blah, blah. And it's like, bullshit, we did. Like we're good freaking human beings. We didn't do shit. And
I had
opened it.
I love your rant, but I've had this idea for several years. Like, how people can write a review on your company, your business. I would like the ability to write a review on our customers and our vendors. I had a lady many years ago when I started my business, and I showed up and cleaned her windows. It was like 118 degrees outside. I was sweating and did all this work, and then she refused to pay me. And then like knocking on the door, and I could see she was in there and just didn't pay. And I'm like, oh God, I hate her. And then I met another window cleaner, a friend of mine, and I was telling him that story, just kind of like we were talking about. He's like, I think I did the same customer. So this lady would literally call window cleaning customers and get a free window cleaning and then just stiff everybody.
Yep.
Like there needs to be a Yelp or a Google reviews for customers. Like, look, don't go work for that customer. Don't work for that vendor. Don't go work for Indeed. This is what you need to learn. I would love a service like that.
Yep.